Good evening and welcome to In the Know. I'm Jeremy. We got Mason the Draw with us this evening. And we're here to talk about the Cubs and the Yankees and how we're going to hold off our division leads, right? We're talking about
Shimmy
winning.
can't stop us now, man. This
Can't
is a
stop
baseball
us.
podcast.
It's a baseball podcast for the next 33 minutes. No, we have to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans because that's what you guys want to hear. Please
Do that
like.
now. Do that now.
They want a misery loves company. They do want us.
That's fair.
Please like and subscribe to the show. If you're in the chat, go ahead and hit the thumbs up for us. Hit the bell. Let them know. Subscribe and hit the bell. Someone else. We got Gold Cubs and Gold Yankees in the chat. They coming for the right talk. That's right. That's right. No, we're gonna come here. If you see it in the description, we're gonna talk about Zion contracts going guaranteed. Do a little summer league preview and I guess wrap up from the games that we watched and talk about if it is as bleak as the national pundits have described and in the sound of my voice. It's going to be hard to say no. But outside of that, how's your week been, Mason?
Yep, we're all good over here. I took my first work trip since the second kiddo was born, which down to Atlanta, the night of the All-Star game, which I didn't realize until I got down there, and my hotel was full of MLB media people. But yeah,
the text I got. Oh, that is today, isn't it?
No, I knew it was today. I slipped my mind that it was in Atlanta. I was like, oh. Yeah, no, hotels were expensive. Like, no, I understand why. Yeah. But no, all good. My mom's actually here. She met my son for the first time a few days ago. So she's here till mid next week. So it's been good having her. But it's good family time. How about you, man?
I'm actually coming back from Phoenix. It's hot out there, but next time y'all talk to me on this podcast, I'm gonna be the father of a 10-year-old, and buddy, that's crazy. So Mike, we're gonna get to that. Let us talk about the good news. Let's talk about the good things first. I don't know if this is actually good since we are the podcast.
I was like, where are we going with this? I'm very curious.
Since we are the podcast that says in the Zion era, but Zion Williamson's contract after July 15th became guaranteed for this season. He still has weight clauses that he has to accomplish to get all of it next year, or he can be released with only certain guarantees given to him. When you heard the news, were you gung-ho as the rest of the fan base, ready to give this one more ride?
I mean, the second they made that draft night trade, like you knew, right? Like that was the indicator. I still have a large degree of uneasiness about this entire situation. Like it's not like all the legal challenges for Zion have disappeared here. Like I want to make sure that's very clear. It certainly seems like we talked about this enough on the prior podcast, but it certainly seems like the Pelicans are operating at a level of confidence that makes me think they know stuff that we don't, and I'm cautiously optimistic that what all the allegations against him are, hopefully not true, right? But we still don't know that, and it's still everything related to Zion right now really makes me uneasy, uncomfortable. So look, they picked up the option for next year. He's been positioned as a face of the franchise. Again, I want to believe that there's a reason for that. But look, I mean, again, the writing was on the wall when the Pelicans made the draft night trade. They are pot committed to pushing for the playoffs next year. You can't do that without Zion, either on the team. And then at this point, in his status, as far from a trade asset perspective, is you couldn't get enough for him to still be in position to make the playoffs. So it's ride or die at this point with Zion. So here we are, right?
Yep, and as A. Davidson has put in the chat, yeah, that's the high watermark that you want to see for Zion to lead this team to a playoff seeding and have efficient numbers and play great defense. He gets all NBA, which is another discussion to have if that happens, because he would be eligible for the Supermax, and who knows how that will go. But yeah, as you said, once you made the trade to say that you're not going to give yourself any out to be a high lottery pick in 2026, and the president of basketball operations goes out in the article and say that he's the captain, you really don't have any option but to believe that the contract is going to be guaranteed, and you're going to ride with this and hope that he, Trey, Herb, and Jordan Poole can make things happen. Yes. We're going to discuss the big rotation and whatnot later on in the show. It feels like we're one big move away to solidify the play-in roster.
Yeah, I wanted to hit this one because before we move on, so John says it feels like we're one big move away to solidify the play-in roster, but are at this crossroads at this point in every offseason. Tough life. True. It is, I would argue, more of a problem this year because there, at least before, you had a team where you actually had data to suggest they were a legitimate playoff team. Here you don't. And so, I've been beating the drum before, there's no way to trade players for players and expect that you're suddenly going to jump that Vegas win total from 31.5 to 35.5. You could shuffle some deck chairs and maybe find equal player value at a position of greater need and maybe add a win or two. But if you're trying to really take that step function move better, I agree, it needs to be a big move, and that probably requires additional draft capital. And so that therein lies the problem of the position the Pelicans have put themselves in. But I mean, I don't see anything coming down the pipe here the rest of the offseason, so I guess we'll see where things go.
Yeah, that sounds like something that's going to be in October, if at all. Yeah, moving on. Which depressing topic are we going to talk about next? So
the streak, man, the streak. Let's go to the streak.
Yes, 10-game losing streak for your New Orleans Pelicans, in quote. Yes, they have lost 10 games. You don't understand the giddiness. Mason sent that when he texted to me. But yeah, tonight, if it was up to me, would forfeit so we could be number one in L's. But
and to keep anyone else from getting injured.
Yes. So when we left, they only played one summer league game, and they've played 3 since then. What has been your what was your takeaway from the game that you saw with? Let's start with the rookies. Let's go with the rookies first.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some I saw guys that aren't ready to contribute for an NBA team that's trying to make the playoffs. And so that was the whole challenge with making these moves and then trying to be a playoff team is you're drafting 2 guys who I'm all for, making moves for guys who you think are going to be stars, but they're not going to be stars next season. They're not going to be, I haven't seen anything to sway me off of the opinion that they can contribute in a meaningful capacity to the, to a team that's trying to make the playoffs next year. And so I think we have plenty of the offseason to go into kind of more deeper dives in each of these guys. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough sledding here. The Pelicans, I mean, there's a reason they haven't won games. It's not to say that everything's all bad, right? But I think you have to view this in a different context, given the position the Pelicans have put themselves in around the maybe it's not desperation, but it's damn close to desperation to try to make the playoffs next year. So here we are, and I mean, I don't think the combination of Aaron Gray and Jeff Withey, Mr. Dickinson, is going to come and save this Pelicans team next year. So. Dude, that's him. That is him. Aaron Gray and Jeff Withey. You put him with the one player.
I can't unsee it now. The moment you said I can't unsee it. God.
Those are obscure Pelicans references, especially Aaron Gray, but I can't forget him after some of the playoffs.
The playoff run. Yeah. with fears, some of the issues that you thought would happen, not being strong enough to finish at the rim, not being strong enough to handle wings who are bigger than him right now. But in the last game, he started getting a little better. They weren't pressing as much. They may play a part of it, and he was attacking the rim a little with more vigor and getting to the line like he was in college. He's been getting to the line a lot in summer league, but it's been tough sledding. And as for Queen, it seemed as though he was getting better and better by every quarter. You were getting the glimpses.
Yep.
You were seeing why he's been picked, why he was selected, how he can contribute in small doses. And then we get the Sham Street. So let's just dive right into it.
Yeah, and I think I think I'm being overly pessimistic about. I guess I buried in my head Queen because of the injury news that we forgot today. But he had, I mean, he played best of the Pelicans rookies, and he got better as the summer league went on. You've got your conditioning issues there for sure, and there are enough red flags in his game as a rookie for me not to still. I'm still not. So John saying, honestly think Queen can be a solid 8th and 9th man by March. I think that's more by necessity because of the Pelicans' lack of a big man rotation. There are enough flaws in his game right now where I don't think he's going to be like a net positive in year one. But I saw a lot of progress throughout the 3 games that he played, and so I think there's reason for optimism there. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see him again healthy until maybe the preseason, because that is Pelicans life for you.
That's Pelicans life in a nutshell. Derek Queen, per Pelicans press release, Derek Queen undergoes successful surgery. The ones Pelicans announced today that the Force center Derek Queen underwent successful surgery to address a torn scaphoid ligament in his left foot.
I'm glad you said it, not me, man.
I tried it. The surgery was performed this morning by Dr. Steven Shin in Los Angeles. He suffered an injury in the summer league game on the 15th of July, and will be reevaluated in 12 weeks. Yeah. This same injury that J-Dub got in a playoff run where he went to the finals and he won the championship. So I think it was worth it, and the Pelicans get their prize lottery pick in summer league.
If you want a silver lining here, it's that it's a wrist injury, and so in theory, there's no reason that he still can't be staying in shape, doing cardio. There's probably some limitations there depending on how much movement he can have in his wrist, but I mean it's at least it's not a lower, like it's not a leg injury. So
wrist injury, non-shooting hand. If you want to talk about the glass being half full. Again, they had the surgery immediately, so he can at least try to make the preseason. But I mean, by the time he gets up to shape, you're probably thinking December, him actually, being up to speed with the regular season.
I'm gonna be a little more optimistic than that, but we'll see. I haven't done the requisite research on these wrist injuries and what. Because when I see reevaluated in X time for a leg injury, where I have a lot more heartburn than like a wrist, there's no medical backup, support for that. But I don't know. Hopefully that 12-week timeline is actually pretty close to what we should expect. But we'll see.
Who knows? I also want to give a shout out to Trey Alexander. He had a really good game in Game 4. Yep. He really played within himself, hit some nice long jumpers, played some decent defense. He's a two-way that was brought in by Troy Weaver. And like I said, he really played well in Game 4. During Games 3 and 4, they had a lot of podcasts, national media pundits come out and say that it looks real bleak around here in New Orleans. Zach Lowe talked to Mo to Kill on the Zach Lowe Show on the Ringer Podcast Network. Dave DeFore was the first person I saw. They had a list of 5 bleakest outcomes and on the Athletic NBA show. And I talked to the fellas, and my initial point was, hey, It's not that bleak, guys. I could think of like 7 or 8 more teams. And I was coming, and I'm still gonna give a defense. But Mason, your boys, it was a hard blow once you got the injury news.
I mean, that's just bad luck. I mean, not like this team hasn't had their fair share of bad luck, and at some point that has to be part of your calculus with the Pelicans of some like voodoo curse on this team. But yeah, I mean, look, so the reference point here is the Athletic podcast and talking about they end up naming 6 teams they thought were kind of the most, essentially the most depressing outlooks for for a franchise, and the Pelicans were named, and I can nitpick which 6 teams were in that group, but effectively that's the bottom 20% of the league from an outlook perspective. And I think it's important to reference this is forward looking versus backward looking. And I struggle to not the double negative. I struggle to not put the Pelicans as a bottom, 20%, bottom 5th of the league from an outlook perspective. I mean, there's the market, which we know is not exactly a destination. There's a very, for now, seems somewhat reasonable lack of confidence in the front office, and the ownership's never paid the tax. So like at every level, there are concerns, and the Pelicans no longer own all their future draft cap. I mean, so that there's a lot to not like here. It's not to say that there's like every team that has a bad outlook has some good stuff. So I hear they've got Trey Murphy, Herb Jones locked in on nice deals, but like I said, like every team is going to have some good stuff. It's not going to be all bad. So I think that there are a couple of teams on there that I thought maybe were a little silly, but the Pelicans are not one of those teams.
I thought that Toronto is getting. People are letting them slide by because they have a very expensive 32-50 team on their hands with no way out of it.
So do we.
I thought that Miami again gets the hashtag key culture. It doesn't look bright because post Jimmy trade, and now they possibly could have a $26 million salary slot, like the Pelicans' $30 million salary slot, just being there, depending on how those allegations go. Like I just thought of Eastern Conference teams. I do not care about teams that are not trying to win. I do not think that they have bright futures until they show me those bright futures. So that means your Washingtons, your Charlottes, your Utahs, your Brooklyns. I did not believe that they are. I don't think there's a light at the end of the tunnel because a lot of those teams look real 2010, mid 2010s Orlando Magic-ish.
Should have not jumped all over Jay when you mentioned Brooklyn. When he mentioned Brooklyn, because that's still a New York City market, and they're the one team in the league with cap space. They're like that's a
yeah.
History be damned. That's a great situation. Yeah.
Except for it hasn't been a great situation since they went to Brooklyn.
Also, it's noted. Also, it's the East that you get to bump 2 levels just because you're in the Eastern Conference. It's not fair. It's not. I hear it, but it's just the reality of the situation. Because you look any team in the East any given year, you can make a damn good argument that team's going to make the play-in.
You go make your argument for Washington make it play-in.
The rest of the East stinks.
The rest of the East stinks now.
But it really is that simple. Like, and like, as opposed to like Utah is like, there ain't no way. And they're maneuvering because in light of that, like there ain't no way.
Utah out there has the newest version of Nikola Vucevic and Lauri Markkanen. Yeah, I'm being reckless right now.
It's,
It's like
I
it's
can't
got
wait.
some
I
bad
can't wait to
situations.
your tears. I can't wait to your Western Conference tears later on.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying all this, and they're still gonna be in 12 through 14 tier. So
Yo, like this is it, man. Like, yeah, like Mike's saying Boston might genuinely end up with the 5 seed with that big rotation. Like, I don't buy it, but
I
it's
don't
not
buy that.
crazy.
Come
It's
on now.
not because
It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be that good. There is a chance that the West 11 seed has more wins than the 6 seed in the East, and that's gonna really
yeah,
like by
yeah,
like 3, 4, maybe 5 games, and that's gonna grind my gears.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And to be clear, I know exactly why you picked those seeds because you're talking about the team in the East, the worst team in the East that gets a free playoff spot, compared to the first team in the West that doesn't even get in the play-in, and like that is real. Like that, that could definitely happen.
like, but how is that even trending upward? Like we can your record. If your record's 39-43 and you're a 6 seed in the East, come on, man. That's just nasty looking. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna give you credit for getting 2 playoff games. Like your owner is not being bleak because he or she is getting a playoff game.
Yeah.
But no, you don't look. Don't get me wrong. If they would have said 10, I had no fight.
Well, give me your. I want you've had time to think about this.
All right,
Give me
like I
your
said,
6. Give me your 6 that you would take that you would definitely take over the or wouldn't take over the
wouldn't
Pelicans.
take over Toronto, Charlotte,
Okay.
Washington, Utah. Write them down. Yeah, Toronto, Washington, Utah. I said Charlotte, Phoenix, Chicago. I don't like. They are a 36-46 team perpetually. So that's 6.
That's 6.
It's getting real bleak for me already. Sacramento.
I was waiting for that one. That was the one that they
Sacramento.
didn't mention. That was one they didn't mention on the pod. I was kind of surprised about it.
When I do my tiers, Portland is going to be in a tier higher than the Pelicans. It could get real wonky real quick for the Portland Trailblazers.
Meaning they could get home. They could get a top 6 seed. I agree if that's what you're saying.
No. Oh, we're going to be diametrically opposed thoughts.
I think Portland is like sleeping giants the wrong term, but I think Portland.
We're talking about being going, forward thinking. Those guards are going to have to get paid sooner or later, and they keep on bringing in guards, so those guards can't play. And I guess the Jeremy Grant contract will eventually get off the books if they have to pay it off, like they did DeAndre Ayton. They drafted a center last year, and then they drafted a center this year. Like it's a lot of it's a lot of wonkiness. Now they're going to play some defense. Like they're going to be fun on the defensive end.
Yep.
But that offense can get real. Like Orlando could get away with that. It's the difference in the East and West, right? Orlando could get away with that because they're in the East.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
and they can get real bleak if they start paying these guys after they go like 39-43.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I'm saying that Portland, like I don't think anyone expects them to be a top 6 seed. I'm just saying that like, I think that there are questions about the rotation for sure, but I think there's a lot of talent there, and I'm willing to like I'd rather roll the dice on them than some of the other teams on here. But I feel like I want to. So Sacramento.
Did I say Phoenix?
It's a jump ball.
Is Phoenix on my list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, Kings were 7. So you did one more than you needed to.
Okay.
Well, I guess you did 2 more. Oh, no, you did 2 more than you should. It's like Sacramento. That's a jump ball for me. I think they have less injury concerns. They've won more recently. Weirdly enough, I can get there. I don't love it as far as a team that's more depressing than Pelicans. Phoenix, the argument is obvious.
Aren't they just the Pelicans?
Yeah,
Sacramento just the Pelicans. Like
kind of.
They're the Pelicans with their 2026 pick. That's who they are.
That's it. That's it. So yeah, Phoenix, like probably. Like that's another tough one. Just because you still
Yeah.
have Devin Booker, who's better than anyone on the Pelicans roster, and
Then it gets
but
bleak.
I can hear it. And then Utah, yes. You can argue that they have, from future draft capital perspective, they have a better outlook. Like I'm not moved. Like Utah is probably the worst market in the league from an NBA player perspective. So, and they're in the West.
There we go.
The East is where we're gonna
Yeah,
disagree
we're
a
gonna
lot
do
more.
it. Yes. That's what this list has. I mentioned all these teams: Sacramento, Portland, Phoenix, Utah, Washington, Charlotte, Chicago, Philly. Yeah. Oh yeah, Philly. Yeah. Philly's another one. Oh man, that Joel Embiid article coupled with the Paul George is hurt again scenario. They actually may be the Pelicans in the East. Toronto, Brooklyn, Miami. I'm not going to put Milwaukee. I know people are looking for the picks, and we're still waiting on when Giannis leaves. What if Giannis goes dirt and doesn't want to leave? And as long as you have a top 5 player in your team, I'm not going to say you're in a bleak situation, because you see our Portland fans are gung ho about Dame Lillard coming back. As long as Giannis is playing, they're not going to think it's bleak. So I'm not going to throw them in there like the athletic.
I have a very, very high degree of skepticism that Giannis is going to be a Dirk in Milwaukee. Like they have decimated, because they have decimated their future to a degree that Dallas never did. And so I just, like, Miles Turner isn't saving this franchise. Isn't.
You don't think Miles Turner could be their Tyson Chandler? You don't think
Like,
Kyle Kuzma can be their Pedro Stojakovic?
You lost Dame. Like that's the thing. Like you lost Dame in the playoffs. Like you didn't lose Dame when you waived him. You lost Dame when he tore his Achilles. Like
I'm trying.
And so
at the same time, the karma of signing that guy to that extension, and yeah. So I'm not mentioning that part, but
yeah. And so Brooklyn, like, get out of here. Like that there's no way you can say that they're more depressed than the Pelicans. Like they're sitting pretty, and what could they mess it up? Yeah, but like as of right now, like I'm taking Brooklyn's future over the Pelicans.
I'm going on the record again this year. The New York Liberty will have more wins than the Brooklyn Nets will this year. New York Liberty own that building.
I ain't trying to argue on 2025-26 for Brooklyn. Like, yeah, they're the only team sitting with cap space, and that probably means that their roster ain't that good. So, yeah. So, look, Chicago. Look, I hear it. I do. They're the team that just is happy to be in the play-in or get to the playoffs every year, and like, but that's it. Like maybe around, that's it. But it's still Chicago. They have the luxury of their bar is set different than New Orleans, because they're in the Chicago market. So
yeah, I give you that.
And they're in the East. And they're in the East.
And apparently they don't have any cup holders in their seats. Like the fans are not happy with anything that's going on when it comes to that team.
Yeah. Toronto, I'm also not there, but like and even when you get to the bottom, like I will, this is it's hard to really to say one way or the other, but like the thing is, Charlotte or Washington, like they're one good offseason away from the playoffs, man. And like you can't say that about the bottom of the West. You just can't.
The Mississippi couldn't just be 100 miles west of New Orleans and give us a shot going into the other conference, huh?
Yeah, right. But look,
all right. I think we're going to end it there because the game is scheduled to start. Yet? It's scheduled to start at 8 Eastern. I guess they're going to be on the court soon. I didn't get any information if Fierce is going to sit out or not. I would hope he will, but I didn't see anything one way or the other. Pelicans fans, enjoy the last game of Summer League before the real offseason start. Go ahead.
Let's be clear. So we have not definitively, but we have on pretty good authority that the Pelicans, by losing tonight, would set the NBA Summer League record for consecutive losses. That hasn't been officially reported, but based on some research, at least in the last 10, 15 years, that is real. And so let's go for history, baby. Let's get it.
Let's go. History making pals. That's what we're going with. Incredible, just curse. But don't curse us. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. Share the live. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We really thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. And y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday night.